Shade, I wanted to break in and give you an update on a serious flooding situation that we have taking place across parts of Harris County. This is going to be just north of the Houston area, but up towards the Dyersdale area, Victor, and also Kenwood. Flash flood warning continues until 7:30 p.m. This is more serious, of course, than a flood advisory. This means that we've got life-threatening flash flooding occurring out there on some of the roads, and you certainly want to avoid any of these flooded spots. There is a little bit of good news. The very heavy rain, those torrential downpours that caused this flash flood warning, finally starting to push out of the area under the warning. However, there is still some very heavy rain out there, and some of it sitting right over Bush Intercontinental Airport. So that's why that ground stop was issued, and there will likely end up being quite a few delays from Mother Nature due to all of this heavy rain. Also, you're definitely getting that heavy rain up towards the Aldine area and Hardy Heights, so make sure to be very careful. Hopefully you don't have to head out in this, but if you do, just be very cautious. We've still got an aerial flood advisory until 7:30 that does include the Aldine area, Hardy Heights, and some spots just outside of that flash flood warning, including Calgary Woods. So if you live in any of those areas, the threat for flooding will remain on the high side. Also, I've still been monitoring some bands of moderate to heavy rain. This is going to be right along Interstate 10, moving through Katy, Brookshire, Sealy. Any of these locations will have the potential for some street flooding. We do have a flood advisory here that continues until 7:45. How much rain are we talking about? Well, just over the last couple of hours, our FoxRad radar looking inside of these storms, estimating around 3 inches of rain up around Kenwood, Dyersdale, Victor, and this is going to be just south of Humble and over towards Bush Airport, about 2 inches of rain in about the last hour. So that's why we have all of these flooding issues going on. So let's talk about what we can expect as we go through the rest of the evening. Your excessive rainfall outlook showing that we do still have the potential for a little bit of flooding. If we can switch over to our excessive rainfall outlook, I think by 9 to 10 o'clock, most of this rain will be gone, but we still have that low risk for really heavy rain that could lead to more flooding issues through at least sunset. After that, conditions will start to improve. So the threat for flooding remains on the high side. If you get stuck under one of those heavy downpours, what do you need to do? Well, some flooding on roadways is likely at this point, so do not walk or drive into any flooded areas. Allow for plenty of extra time to navigate, seek an alternate route, and of course, check our Fox 26 weather app. Download it if you haven't already. Of course, we're going to have more updates on our app and on our website. Make sure you head to our fox26houston.com page or head to our app, and we'll have more information, and I'll continue to do some updates. So make sure that you keep it tuned, and of course we'll have more updates on our newscast later tonight. But just bottom line, stay safe out there. Things should start to improve over the next couple of hours. Once again, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. Back to your regular programming. Hello again. If you were joining me earlier, I did a little update for you during the afternoon where we did have a flash flood warning and a severe thunderstorm warning down around the Galveston County area. Of course, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade, and I just want to update you on what's happening out there, because hasn't the weather been super crazy for the last several days? We've been stuck in this very soggy weather pattern for about the last week and a half, and some of you have picked up several inches of rain, and we just can't seem to get rid of all of these heavy downpours, and they are still creating lots of issues out there, even for the drive home for many of you. Maybe you're trying to head out to grab a bite to eat, drop your kids off at a practice. Maybe you're going for a workout yourself. Maybe you're just trying to get home. Mother Nature, though, kind of standing in the way, producing all of this rainfall, and we continue to have the issue, the threat of that flooding as we go into the next couple of hours. So we do have a flash flood warning in place until 7:30 p.m., and this does include northern portions of Harris County. The worst of this heavy rainfall that we've had over the last hour or two fell right around Victor, Dyersdale, Kenwood, just to the south of Humble. Now the good news, the heaviest rain has pushed out at this point. However, the damage is already done. That rain came down quickly, a couple of inches, 2 to 3 inches in a 1 to 2 hour time frame, and that spells the potential for severe flooding. So that flash flood warning will stick around through 7:30 p.m. You can see some of the heaviest bands of rain now sitting over Bush Airport, very close to Aldine, and over towards Interstate 45, just to the south of Bammel and Bainbridge Estates. Still some heavy showers out there, nothing severe associated with this. We're not talking about severe wind or severe hail, but the rainfall itself could lead to some pretty bad flooding. So certainly be very careful if you have to get out in any of this. So we do have this area here under the flash flood warning, but we've got a larger area under the general aerial flood advisory. And if you're wondering what the difference is, basically an aerial flood advisory is issued when there's just the potential for mainly street flooding and also flooding of the low-lying areas, some of the bayous, creeks, and streams. So when you're talking about life-threatening, very serious flash flooding where you just have that rain piling up in a short period of time, that's when that flash flood warning is issued. So just the general flood advisory over towards Aldine, very close to the Bush Airport, Hardy Heights, and also down around Beaumont Place, parts of Beaumont Place included in that flood advisory. So I think conditions will start to improve as we go into the next 2 to 3 hours, but until we get there, we're going to have to worry about more flooding issues possible out there. We've got another aerial flood advisory, and this one is over towards Katy, Brookshire, Sealy, and also Pattinson, and down around the Wallace area. So definitely dealing with the potential for some moderate to heavy rain over the next hour. You can see this is right along Interstate 10. If you're traveling from Sealy to Katy or from Katy to Sealy, plan on some wet roads out there and the threat for some of that flooding. These showers and storms are moving extremely slow, so they're kind of just meandering, wobbling back and forth. So that means they keep dumping a lot of rain over some of the same areas. It'd be nice if we could just quickly push them out of here and then things would improve. But for now, we're still dealing with that threat for flooding. Our radar, looking inside of these storms, estimating anywhere from about 2 to 3 inches of rain that has fallen over the last couple of hours. And this is going to be up around Bush Intercontinental Airport, portions of Humble, and down around the Kenwood area and over towards Victor. So that's why we have that flash flood warning issue. This is the flash flood warning area where our radar is indicating about 3 inches of rain over the last 1 to 2 hours. Also some very heavy rain over towards the Dickinson area earlier. That was down around Galveston County, and there were reports of some street flooding. That was closer to 3:30 p.m. and then those heavy showers finally pushed out. But this is something we've been dealing with as we've gone through the afternoon. We knew that with the heating of the day, we had a weak boundary over the area, and with the little area of low pressure in our upper levels of the atmosphere, that we kind of had the ingredients in place to kick off some of these heavy downpours, and that's exactly what we got. I want to show you some of the radar rainfall estimates over towards Katy, Cinco Ranch. Close to 2.5 inches showing up very near the city of Katy. So flooding threat definitely going up if you're in Katy as well. You're already under that flood advisory, so just be very careful for the next few hours. Let's move over towards Deer Park, Lomax, Golden Acres, and our radar over the last few hours estimating anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain that has fallen in this location. So it's basically the same story in different locations. We get these big thunderstorms to blow up. They dump a lot of rain in a short period of time, and then we end up either getting a flood advisory or a flash flood warning. So it would be nice if we could get rid of these showers and storms. I think it's going to happen, but it's likely going to be closer to 9 o'clock before most of this clears out. But you can see some of that heavy rain over towards Eagle Lake, Columbus, Sealy, Brookshire, and also over towards Katy. Not quite as heavy in Katy right now, but still some moderate rainfall coming down. So certainly just be very careful. Let's check out our excessive rainfall outlook, and it is showing we are still in that category 1 out of 4 risk for the flood threat for the evening hours. I think between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. this rain, most of it at least, will start to wind down. We're talking about the loss of our daytime heating. I think the atmosphere will start to stabilize a little bit more, and these showers and storms will finally start to wind down. So that is certainly good news for us. But before I go, I want to show you these tips to stay safe in this flooding. Once again, you never should try to walk through or drive across a flooded roadway. Turn around, find an alternate direction, and also make sure, if you haven't already, head to the App Store, search for Fox 26, and make sure to download our Fox 26 weather app. Such an important tool to have, especially when the weather gets crazy like this and like it's been for the last week and a half or so. So make sure to grab that, keep it here. Of course, we'll have more updates throughout the evening. You can check us out on Fox 26 at 9 p.m. and also at 10 p.m. Have a great evening and stay safe out there.